straight out of the vastness, out of the darkness, out of the emptiness. We come. We all come. So we're talking about this old poem by the unicorn. I have many horned beasts, but only one unicorn. It's interesting because our logo is a Chinese unicorn. It kind of also looks like a rhinoceros, if you see that blue logo around. So I have an affection for unicorns in that regard. So the poem starts with the mind of the great Indian immortal moves seamlessly between east and west. And so the question somehow of how the Dharma came to us, why did Bodhidharma was the great Indian immortal. And why did he come from the West became a koan question that held all other questions. And so the issue of moving to the West, and there's a great mythic legend about Bodhidharma after he died and was buried, somebody way out in the interior where there's a big pass that goes through to the far interior of China, met him. An official who knew him met him traveling west, wearing one sandal. And they had a chat, and then the person went on and reported, they'd say, oh no, Bodhidharma died, he's in a tomb, So they opened the tomb and there was one sandal in it. So not only did he come from the West, he went back into the West in that legend. And so then there's a question, well, what was he doing moving seamlessly between East and West? And doesn't your mind do that? Doesn't your mind move between a moment of stillness and a moment where you can rest? Like right now maybe, you just rest. We're just taking in what's going on, right? Here I am. Here I am in a Dharma talk. No need to think, no need to do anything really. No need to even try to meditate, because anything we do would get in the way. So it's pure. We're free when we're meditating. And then we move into wanting things, and I don't know about this koan. I think there's another koan I might like better. So that kind of the comparing and contrasting mind is there too. So that motion is always going on, and or we're quick or we're slow, and in the way there are no northern or southern ancestors. That's another legendary story where Shitou had met Hui Yong and studied with him for a couple of years when he was really young, when he was just a kid, and Hui Yong, the story is Hui Yong let this kid come around. The kid seemed interesting and keen, and he let him. And Hui Yong said, he was very old and close to the end of his life, and he said, if you study with me, you'll look like me. You'll be old and ugly. And the kid said, that's okay. And so he studied for a couple of years, and then Hui Yong died. And we're not sure, but it seems like Shitou had enough relationship to the tradition and the ancestors to go off and sit on his own. He sat silently by himself for a long time, day and night, on a mountain, on a rock shelf, on a mountain. So, but Hui Nong's story was, he came to the fifth ancestor from the south, having had one of those chance moments where you awaken. He just heard somebody chanting the Diamond Sutra and had an awakening and asked what it was, and it was kind of shocking. to him, and he was a woodcutter, and so he said, "Where did you get this teaching?" And the guy explained this Zen monastery up north, Chan monastery up north. And so he put aside some money and made sure he was supporting his mom, so made sure she was taken care of, and then traveled up north, long walk, hard traveling, and got an interview with the teacher, and he told his story, and the teacher said, "Well, but you're a southern barbarian, how could you understand the Dharma?" And so you might notice, have you ever thought of yourself, like, how could I mean, there's other smart people, but what about me? You know? And I just don't think I have the right nature for it. So that sort of thought. And Wei Nung said the Dharma makes no distinction, northerners and southerners. And so the fifth ancestor nodded and said, "Okay, you can stay," and sent him to work in the rice hut, preparation hut, and he did. And then eventually he got, in a famous story, he got transmission, but he wasn't accepted by his fellow students, some of whom were ex-generals, and so they chased him to try and get the robe and the bowl back, through the night. But the question here is not that, but in the way there are no northern or southern ancestors, there are no, what do you think gets in the way for you of taking the next step? I mean, just what do you think?
Doubt.
Doubt? What do you doubt?
I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be able to do this. Sometimes.
Yeah, okay, that's a good doubt. That's a good stick to that one. It's a popular doubt. Anybody else? Any other things?
Greed.
Greed. I want it too much. Is that what it is? Plus, I'll be really cool when I get it and I can swan around and teach people. Maybe I'll get myself a golden robe. Very good. Sounds like more fun than doubt. You want to? So yeah, what else?
Impatience.
Impatience.
The idea that I might know what the next step is.
Well, that's kind of nice. I know what the next step is, or I should know, or I do know.
Should know.
I should know.
Not sure.
And there's something wrong with my nature. I'm Australian or gay or whatever I am, And that might be an advantage, all the things we think are the disadvantage. I have doubt. At least I don't have greed, like that poor guy in the corner. Well, I have greed. At least I don't doubt myself like a poor lady from the East Coast. So it's kind of nice, isn't it? And so you can tell, and what it could be many things, and so you can tell that's all held here. There's no northern or southern ancestors. There's no doubting or greedy ancestors. You might be doubting or greedy, or you might be all those things, but that doesn't mean you can't be an ancestor.